own planet never ceases to amaze us. The best is always waiting to be discovered. Every corner hides unseen treasures. In unknown places, treasures of breathtaking beauty that leave you spellbound, where you can reach new heights and feel on top of the world. Run your fingers along the relics of a rich past. Discover new places where you can leave your mark. Be the first to witness a land of fascinating journeys. Where in the world could this be? Saudi. Welcome to Arabia. Get your visa now.
Good evening or good morning, everybody. My name is Jürgen Steinmetz, and I'm joining you from livestream.travel and eTurbo News. But we're here today to continue to celebrate the opening of the World Tourism Network. World Tourism Network is an organization that is focusing on travel and tourism, specifically for small and medium-sized businesses. We have celebrated the opening for World Tourism Network the entire week, and we have 2 more weeks to come with excellent presentations from all over the world. Today, we'll be going to Saudi Arabia. If you wanted to know what other presentations there are, very simple, go to WTN.travel, click on the blue banner for our expo, or WTN.travel/expo. Without further delay, we'd like to go to Saudi Arabia, and I wanted to recognize, first of all, we're honored to have His Royal Highness Dr. Abdulaziz Bin Naser Al Saud, and I hope I pronounced this correctly, together with Mr. Raed in Saudi Arabia. I also like to recognize Dr. Talib Rifai, who is part of us, and he has been, I think, at almost every event. And of course, for those, I see a lot of new faces here. Dr. Rifai was the Secretary General for the United Nations World Tourism Organization for 7 years, and he's joining us from Spain. But I wanted to give the microphone over to Mr. Raed, and he will take it from here.
Wa barakatuh, ladies and gentlemen. I would like first of all to thank very much my friend and colleague, Mr. Jürgen Steinmetz and Dr. Peter for the integration of WTN network globally. Also, I would like to thank His Royal Highness Dr. Abdulaziz Bin Naser for attending this important integration for WTN chapter in Saudi Arabia. Special thanks to our friend and brother, His Excellency Dr. Talib Rifai, for being with us today. Since March, and when COVID-19 started, Mr. Jürgen and Dr. Talib and Dr. Peter and myself and a number of tourism leaders around the globe tried to work through rebuilding travel and tourism to try to do as much as possible to recover the tourism and aviation industry globally. And that was really a great initiative to be part of. I was very proud, and that hard effort is to continue where we started, and hopefully in the coming future, this WTN will grow as a global network serving the startups, the SMEs in the tourism industry. Today, His Royal Highness will give his speech on this occasion, as well as we have in the agenda we'd like to take you through a tour to discover Saudi Arabia destinations. I don't say one destination, it's many destinations. We have a history of 5 years or more. And today, Mrs. Salwa Al-Gnabit, she's a professional tour operator that operates historical and cultural tours throughout the kingdom. Also, we have His Excellency Mr. Mohammed Al-Najib, the chairman of the Tourism Committee. He will talk about the future recreation and entertainment of Saudi Arabia. We will also have with us Dr. Mohammed Al-Naser from Destination Development Company, and they will give you a good experience how they have created special tourism investment in a very historical mountain in the area. And just about a month ago, that site was registered in UNESCO as a global Oasis for palm trees because it has more than 10 million palm trees. So if you don't mind, now we will have His Royal Highness deliver his speech. طال عمرك صاحب السمو الملكي، تتفضل مشكور بإلقاء كلمتك. الله يحفظك.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، والصلاة والسلام على السياحة سيدات وسلام. كيف سامعني؟ الو؟
مسموع طال عمرك.
مسموع؟
الصوت كويس سمو الأمير، صوت كويس.
قبل معالي وزراء السياحة سيدات والسادة الكرام، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. يسعدني أن أشارككم في ملتقى السفر العالمي لمناقشة آفاق السياحة العالمية واستثماراتها.
Dear Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, it is a great pleasure for me to meet up with you this morning to discuss about the future of travel and tourism globally, and in particular about Saudi Arabia and the future of this great industry and tourism investment in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
بعد ما يمر به العالم وباء فيروس كورونا كوفيد-19، حيث أن قطاع السياحة العالمية هو القطاع الأكثر تضرراً من هذا الوباء.
After the pandemic of COVID has hit the global tourism industry, it is good to meet up and again to continue the effort to bring back the tourism hopefully into its origin.
ولكن فلننظر إلى المستقبل المشرق لقطاع السياحة، وخاصة في المملكة العربية السعودية.
We have to look into the bright future of the tourism industry.
المملكة القيادة الحكيمة لخادم الحرمين الشريفين الملك سلمان بن عبد العزيز وولي عهد الأمير صاحب السمو الملكي الأمير محمد بن سلمان تشهد تطور جديد كل يوم، خاصة في قطاع
It is a great opportunity to look into the bright side of the tourism industry in general globally, and in Saudi Arabia particularly with the guidance of the custodian of the two holy mosques, King Salman, and the Crown Prince, His Royal Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman, with Saudi Arabia vision, especially after Saudi Arabia presided the G20 summit during the year 2020. Okay, maybe I will just continue. I think we lost His Royal Highness due to internet connection.
المملكة 2030 بجذب 100 مليون سائح بحلول عام 2030.
We have him back.
المملكة تملك العناصر والإمكانات فالمملكة تمتلك العناصر والإمكانات يمكنها من تطوير السياحة الدينية والتاريخية والترفيهية والتراثية.
Of course, no doubt, the tourism industry serves 28 other industries, and Saudi Arabia, with the Vision 2030, have a lot to offer to the global tourism.
تسمعني؟
اسمعك يقطع بس طال عمرك.
نعم نعم يا سيدي نعم اسمع. مسموع يا سيدي don't worry.
كمل اسمه الأمير من عند المملكة تمتلك.
العناصر والإمكانات المؤهلة لذلك، فلديها التنوع السياحي والتراثي والحضاري ما يمكنها من تطوير السياحة الدينية والتاريخية والترفيهية والتراثية.
The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia have started from religious tourism into cultural tourism, historical tourism, and environmental tourism, and entertainment tourism. So the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia vision is targeting to receive 100 million tourist arrivals in the future.
فالخبرة السياحية بالمملكة تعود إلى 4000 عام من خلال زيارات بيت الله الحرام في كافة العصور، وبالتالي فإن المملكة قامت بتطوير قوانينها ونظام قضائي وتطوير أنظمة الاستثمار لجذب الاستثمارات في جميع القطاعات، والسماح للمستثمر الأجنبي من 300% من مشروعه.
The kingdom have long experience in serving visitors through Hajj and Umrah for 4,000 years, and hopefully there are also a good future for the inbound and domestic tourism, which require a lot of investment in the infrastructure, in hotels, in resorts, in ground operation, etc.
وبخاصة قطاع الخدمات السياحية والثقافية والمدن الترفيهية. لذلك أصبحت المملكة واحدة من أهم الوجهات الاستثمارية، وحققت مستوى عالي في التنافسية، فاستقطبت أكثر من 455 مليار دولار أمريكي حتى نهاية 2019.
The kingdom have, and the Vision 2030 have made many reforms for global investors through FDIs, the Ministry of Investment, and special investment have been flowing for the infrastructure and the resorts throughout the kingdom. And up to date, there were more than 490 billion US dollar as foreign investment in the tourism sector.
يعد قطاع السياحة الداخلية في المملكة قطاعا واعدا ويحتاج إلى استثمارات ضخمة في جميع مجالات الضيافة والسكن مثل الفنادق والمنتجعات والقرى السياحية على شواطئ البحر الأحمر والخليج العربي.
The sector of hotels and resorts require a lot of investment, as well as international the kingdom, whether in the Red Sea, northern west side of the kingdom, starting from Yom, Red Sea, Amara, all the way down to Parasan Island in Jizan.
وهي تعد من الشواطئ البكر، وكانت الخدمات تنظيم الرحلات والإرشاد السياحي وكذلك في قطاع المدن.
Also, there are projects like entertainment cities, as well as leisure parks, recreation. All these infrastructure projects are now available in Saudi Arabia through many destinations throughout the kingdom.
حيث تمتلك مجموعة بصيرة و HRH مجموعة من المستشارين والخبراء في مجالات الاستثمار. نرحب بمساعدة استضافة المملكة العربية السعودية لفرع منظمة السياحة والتي
Our group, through HRH Consultant and Baseera Group, have dedicated professional industry consultant in investment and governance, as well as in the tourism hospitality industry. And we welcome the cooperation with the global partner in the tourism industry.
ولا يفوتني في النهاية أنا أشكر معالي الدكتور طالب الرفاعي والأستاذ المنظمين الأفاضل لاستضافتي في هذا اللقاء المبارك، والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
I'd like to give as well a special thanks to His Excellency Dr. Talib Al-Rifai for attending this event, as well as the organizer, Mr. Jürgen Stevens, for organizing this event today, and to integrate the chapter of WTN in Saudi Arabia, and to thank all of you for attending this important event. Thank you very much, Dr. Abdulaziz Bin Naser bin Abdulaziz.
شكرا. Thank you, Your Highness.
Thank you very much. For those, if I may, we added a number of platforms during the start. There was a little bit of a delay. So I wanted for everyone who wasn't here from the very beginning, who's watching us on Echobo News, you have been listening to His Royal Highness Dr. Abdulaziz Bin Naser from Saudi Arabia. giving an overview on Saudi tourism. If you missed the first part, we will replay the event a number of times, and you find it, of course, also in archive a little bit later on World Tourism Expo. But thank you very much, His Royal Highness, for giving us this information.
Okay, thank you. Now we move into our next agenda, and we want to introduce about general tourism indicator for the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. If you don't mind, if we can put it on the screen, Mr. Yergin. موجود على الشاشة.
Yes, you're already screen sharing right now, so everyone sees the meeting agenda. Or you want me, I can screen share also what you had sent by WhatsApp. I'm not sure if that's what you mean. There it is. Okay, you got it. No problem. Go ahead.
Of course, our group chairman is His Royal Highness Dr. Abdulaziz Bin Naser, and himself, he have a big project, tourism project in the central part of the kingdom, the capital city, and Riyadh, just beside Gidea, which will be hosting many global leisure parks. He have about 6 million, and he's starting an eco-tourism village. It's all by solar, by ecotourism, and it has many creative, innovative tourism products that it will offer in that city. Go ahead. Our group of companies, Baseera Group, we have various sectors. Baseera Conferences and Exhibition, HRH Consultant for FDIs. Also, we have Baseera Green, and we have Baseera online training platform. Go ahead, Okay, today we are very proud to represent WTN chapter in Saudi Arabia, and our vision when we started, and we did actually a lot of work during the past 8 to 10 months, as I said, with Mr. Yergin and Dr. Talib and Dr. Peter and many of you. We see that there is really a need to address the startup and SMEs, and to have dynamic decision, more often global workshops, meeting, especially now we are in the digital economy, and the SMEs, they represent almost 80% of the industry, and this is in any economy, and Saudi Arabia as well. So we are trying in our local chapter in Saudi to focus on tourism startups and SMEs, and to foster creativity and innovation in technology and in green economy, in circular economy, and many other innovation that the youth can bring to the tourism industry to revive it and make it alive again. Of course, And now the whole world, and as we all witnessed during the G20, that the private sector plays a very important role in developing capacity, in developing economies. And our chapter will focus on the trade industry mainly, inbound tour operators, airlines, media, technology, services, resorts, investment. This is where we will focus in our WTN local Saudi chapter. Okay. We will also work with government. As a non-government entity, we will work with the government as well, because now the whole world is going through the PPP or BOT model, the public-private partnership. Luckily, with our vision, Saudi Arabia now is privatizing many sectors, and part of it is the government lands and tourism and other facilities like airports and many of these great big projects. So that's a very good time to work together with you, our counterpart globally, with our local industry trade businesses, and then hopefully we can all reap the benefit of this or those destinations that bring a history of 5,000 years. Our vision actually for the local chapter to be the leader in enhancing the local tourism industry and to connect them with their counterpart in the global tourism industry. Our goals is to create association and to promote Saudi inbound tourism destination, to support the Ministry of Tourism to attract 100 million visitors by the year 2030 or beyond, to increase in the local GDP by 10%, to create more jobs to our youth, to fight poverty and to fight unemployment, especially in the tourism industry. As always, our friend Dr. Talib said, out of 10 jobs, there is a job, one job for in the tourism industry. Also to promote sustainable tourism. In Saudi Arabia, we have really beautiful virgin beaches, islands, mountaineer areas. It's really beautiful with a lot of agri and greenery. And we would like also to promote maintaining sustainable tourism. Also to promote Saudi Arabia as a destination for historical, cultural, and leisure tourism, which have been almost undiscovered for 100 years. And since October last year, tourism visa were allowed, and now we, before COVID, we received many tourists, and Saudi created many sport event, entertainment event, cultural event. So hopefully we pray, inshallah, by February 2021, things will resume back to normal, inshallah. We also we would like to help the youth, and we will create a startup competition on local, regional, global basis to foster more creativity within the tourism sector. We will organize a monthly meeting through our chapter, hopefully with you, our counterpart globally, to cover each region within the kingdom, which offer many fascinating historical tours, cultural tours, and beautiful virgin beaches.
Outside.
We will assist also in organizing a cultural event, sport event, and about how rich Saudi culture is in each destination of the 13 regions. Also, we will assist the industry through our own Baseera online training platform, which will offer many tourism educational product courses, and we are talking with Dr. Talib and some other global academies, universities that can offer a lot of expertise to train our youth. Since Saudi Arabia is a youth country, 70% of our population, the 30 million, they are under the age of 20. And tourism is a new industry. We have a couple of tourism colleges, but I think we need more tourism colleges and academic training. We will also organize an annual tourism investment conference so that we create a platform for global and local investors to create special vehicle purpose companies, and especially the Ministry of Tourism, they have a fund of 16 billion riyal to participate with those investors that will participate in developing the tourism infrastructure. We will also launch a special edition of Saudi 8 months. We will have local, international editors to show and update the world on tourism event, tourism product, tourism investment, and culture. Also, we will organize, hopefully, with WTN, a national tourism award for the best tourism service provider companies in each sector. Of course, as His Royal Highness explained to you, the Vision 2030 by the custodian of the two Holy Mosques and the Crown Prince. Go ahead. Okay, we have some fine indicators that we would like to share with you, that Saudi Arabia, the number of trips for the year 2019 reached to 16 million tourist arrivals. The amount of spending is over $1 billion US. Of course, now with the strategy of Vision 2030, the Saudi outbound used to spend almost $50 billion US in international destinations. One of the good things of COVID that the Saudi stayed during the summer and visited many domestic destinations. So that spending was really spent in the local economy, which helped to create jobs and to revive the economy. In Saudi Arabia, we offer many tourism products such as conferences, ecotourism, cultural tourism, cave tourism, beautiful beach tourism. It looks like Bahamas, Jamaica, Sardinia, and Langkawi in Malaysia, like, you know, a true virgin Red Sea with rich coral environment. The cave tourism, Saudi Arabia during millions of years back, a lot of volcanic eruption, and we have from the south all the way to the west of Saudi Arabia called the Sarawat Mountain, and it's all volcanic mountains. And underneath it, there are many other sites that they have beautiful caves, and they are now developing many of those caves to be a tourist visitor site. Okay, those are some of the beaches. As I said, there are beautiful beaches starting from the north to the south of Saudi Arabia. Archaeological sites, now the Al-Ula, which is the Nabatean kingdom, which all the way to Petra in Jordan. And that offered a beautiful, sustainable, ecological tourism and history and economy. And actually that's the kingdom, they had a very good sustainable, economical, political, environmental system, and the structure still strong. And this is one of the prime destinations that Saudi Arabia now is promoting. You are welcome to visit starting from next week, Tantura, Tantura Winter Festival, and now it's attracting many global visitors from Europe, US, and many other Asian and Middle Eastern countries. But we have many, because many of those historical sites, they are, you know, in the Quran, Holy Book of Quran, like we have in the south, ancient kingdom, we have in the east, and we have in many parts of the kingdom, those ancient historical sites, as well as in the north.
Nadine.
Okay, thank you very much. That was just, I wanted to give you a quick highlight of the Saudi tourism product. So now, does anybody have any question before we move into the having Dr. Talib?
If there's any question, thank you very much. Raed. If there's any question, like always, just raise your hand, and I can see it from here, and Raed can see it, and we can give you the microphone. Also, this was a fascinating presentation about Saudi Arabia. I think everyone is ready to travel if we're allowed to travel again, and I hope this will be soon. But I think Taleb raised his hand anyway. Go ahead, Taleb.
Thank you so much, Jürgen. Thank you, Your Highness. Thank you, Mr. Raed. What I want to say is His Highness mentioned 4,000 years of history of receiving people in Saudi Arabia. Sorry, can you hear me? Okay. I want to talk about the 4,000 years of history that His Highness mentioned in his introduction.
Your Excellency.
You hear me? You can hear me, right?
I hear you fine. I think.
Yes, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, okay. For 4,000 years, Saudi Arabia has received pilgrims, but it was not called tourism until 20 years ago. Now, this is an important thing because the industry of tourism has grown tremendously in the last 20 to 25 years. The awareness of tourism has become very, very important here. People used to associate tourism only to foreigners coming there, laying drunk on the beaches. Now, tourism has taken a different dimension. People are more aware of the importance of tourism, and they've become very, very welcoming. And that's why the Vision 2030 emphasizes that. It built on previous efforts to raise the awareness of people of the importance of travel and tourism as an industry, creating jobs, creating an alternative economy. That's what I wanted to say here. And to add to the fact that there was a time where Saudi Arabia used to see tourism. The word tourism was not mentioned in a positive way. Today, it's different. Although tourism was experienced in Saudi Arabia, as His Highness said, for 4,000 years at least, because people used to come for pilgrimage. Pilgrimage is a very, very important function in Saudi Arabia. Today, as you heard from His Highness, you have two things that are happening. One is the emphasis on domestic tourism. That's very important because it started like, when you start with domestic tourism, you start with raising awareness of the people, of what they have. You can have people that enjoy their country and being proud of it. If the people are not proud of what they have, they cannot receive foreigners from outside. So that phase has been established already. Saudis now like their country and they're proud of it. And they are visiting it. This summer, this COVID-19 had an opportunity for Saudis to stay in Saudi Arabia and save the extra money that they were spending outside. They spend it inside Saudi Arabia. So that's an important factor here. Domestic tourism, and it's a big market. Saudi Arabia has a big population. Now, let me talk a little bit about diversity of Saudi Arabia. Many people, when we say Saudi Arabia, they only think of deserts. Saudi Arabia has not only beaches, beautiful beaches in the Red Sea and in the Gulf area. The Red Sea is the richest sea in sea life in the world because it has two very, very distinct openings at the end and at the beginning. So there is lots of sea life inside that sea that you cannot see anywhere in the world. So diving and other things there are very, very important. Now, in addition to beaches, you have mountains, you have forests even in the south, west of Saudi Arabia. You have also archaeological sites, as Mr. Raed said, that go all the way from Mecca, from Petra and Jordan. The Nabateans went all the way down to Saudi Arabia. All of these areas were not taken care of before. Now, with the Vision 2030, all of that is becoming a very, very important part of Saudi product. The issue of investment is another issue that I want to highlight here because we're working with the Baseera group now on trying to bring investment into Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has not just reformed its visa and entry regimes, it also reformed its ownership regime. As His Highness said, you can own now as an investor 100% of a project, which was something that was never there before. I just wanted to add these things so that it becomes clear that we're talking about the continent, not just a country. Saudi Arabia is more than just a country. Saudi Arabia is a world of its own. It has everything that you want. And the people there are so warm, so welcoming. I just encourage you to go there if you have a chance. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Taleb. We have two more guests raising their hand. One is, the first one was Gazim Bologan. Maybe also let us know where you're from and what your affiliation is, if you can. Go ahead, Kazim.
Yeah, good morning. His Highness, good morning, Mr. Raed, and Mr. Statement, Dr. Talib. Well, I want to make a comment and a question. My name.
Let us know where you are and who you are. I know you, but many people don't know you, so that's fine.
Okay. My name is Kazim Balogun. I am a journalist. In Nigeria, I run Kalo Africa Media. It's about tourism, and I showcase tourism business globally. And
of course, Kazim, we know you.
Okay, thank you, sir. And now, my question is this: what Dr. Rifai said, Saudi Arabia is known so much about the pilgrimage, but so many people really want to visit Saudi aside doing the Hajj. Is Saudi opening up? We want to hear from His Excellency and Mr. Raed. Is Saudi opening up in terms of visa policy? Because at times it's difficult for people to just get to Saudi Arabia if they think about doing just tourism. But from the presentation, we can see that they have a great thing out there. So I want to know if Saudi is really open up for tourism, domestic tourism, international tourism, because people are willing to visit the place aside pilgrimage. And again, what are they doing about those that are willing to visit for pilgrimage? So those are my questions.
Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Raed, do you want to answer that, please?
Okay, sir. Actually, Saudi Arabia, as I said, it was closed for many years. However, with Vision 2030, the kingdom changed all the old policies. The government, they realized that tourism integrate our world with the globe. We can exchange information, we can exchange culture, we can education, and also by having visitors visit Saudi Arabia, they will know how hospitable the people are, how much culture we have, how very ancient history we have, and already that started, sir, about in October 2019. The tourist visa now is available for 40 countries online or in any local Saudi international airports. Other countries have to go through the local embassy. Also, now there is a tourist visa called tourism after performing Umrah. They can visit all the other regions in the kingdom. So now Saudi Arabia have opened up the tourism, inbound tourism. Okay, I hope I answered your question, sir. But I would like to ask, is Dr. Salwa there, please? I want her to share with you the experiences that many tourists globally have enjoyed when visited Saudi. Go ahead, Dr. Salwa, please.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.
Welcome everybody in Riyadh, where I'm located at Hayatur. I would like to say thank you for His Highness and Mr. Raed and all the lovely guests to be with you. Today, I'll try to tell you about my experience in tourism Saudi Arabia for 11 years. First, I would like to say hello, good morning, Dr. Talib Al-Rifai. If you remember me in Mongolia and in Blatter.
Of course, I remember you.
So.
I remember you very well.
You.
You're still younger. You look younger.
Thank you very much. Today, really, I'm very happy to see all this variety of lovely people from all around the world, and might be in the company in Saudi Arabia, and His Highness starting a new method or collecting all these people to focus and promote for the Saudi tourism. That really is what I was seeing within 11 years around all Saudi Arabia, traveling from the mountain to the sea, from the cities to the desert. It's really a long story, but very beautiful and full of passion and beautiful to spend it there. I reduced my traveling out of the country because really I was very rich in feeling and like to join my groups in Saudi Arabia in these years. Higher tours or actual work I did that these years in heritage culture tours. I believe about my heritage, my culture. So all the tours we are produce or we deliver to our guests, it's about the Saudi heritage and culture, which is very rich. If we speak about histories or locations or natural, historical, I was joined the group in the south, Najran, where is the oldest water well, Abar Hema. It's more than 10,000 years ago. I've been in Tabuk near to Jordan, where is sharing the culture of Nabatean at Maghair Shuaib and Madain Saleh, which is very beautiful to see and to join these tours. What I received from all that years from our guests who joined Higher Tour within 10 years, of course, 10 years ago, the visa wasn't open, but we was welcoming the people who live as an expat community in Saudi Arabia and the people who visiting in business or in special invitation or that kind of guest. And really, these people was really a great support for us. Up to date, we receive people who come after a few years, have work or visit and said, okay, we use your company, so we want to come to you to visit this place or that place. So that's what we really did. We success, alhamdulillah, to reach many of different variety, different nationality, different companies. We work with local Saudi people who's really under their culture in different subjects or different type of tourism, like desert tours or culture or historical. Even the natural one, agriculture one, we like it's very lovely to go in August and taste the delicious fresh dates in this oasis in the middle of the Saudi Arabia. It's very nice to walk and hike in the high mountain like Taif, to collect the roses, the beautiful roses, and go to the factory to see these nice smell of roses oil. And this journey of heritage and culture and natural, really it has a very, very special feeling for the tourists who's join us and really come back with a great experience about Saudi culture and environment. It was a great honor for me really to work in this sector after I was working government, but it's becoming like my hobby or something I worked with. I did it after I retired from computer government side, but very enjoyable. With the Vision 2030, we have a strategic plan for the next, inshallah, 10 years to have new ideas to continue more and more. Last October, I was in the south in a mountain of Jazan. I was joining my groups on the high mountain to collect the coffee beans, the Arabian coffee beans in these mountains. Was one of the best beautiful the scenery to see these what's called forts and stone building, and people who was living in this area for 100,000 years ago produced these coffee beans. A new project coming back to revive these farms and give more job for the young generation. And it's nice to be there. I hope you have the chance to visit. And inshallah, we are praying to this crisis finish, and we'll see each other, and welcoming you in Saudi and join our tour. If you have any question, you are welcome. I'm not sure if I did it good or if you have something to ask.
Thank you very much. I think Mona Nafa in Jordan had a question. She raised her hand. Thank you so much for your
welcome.
Interesting.
Thank you, Salma.
Mona, go ahead.
Hi, thank you, Salwa. Pleasure. Thank you, Raed, His Excellency, for a very informative Saudi presentation on tourism. I've got two comments, short comments. One, as a female Arab American, I have visited Saudi many times, and I definitely want to share with the audience, with the panel, that Saudi is very welcoming. You know, mind you, there could be a stigma for females, but I have attended and been a guest for many years from the 80s visiting Saudi. Always felt safe, always felt welcomed, always felt I was in good hands. The Saudis are hospitable, they're humorous, they're passionate about foreigners coming in and knowing their country. So I'm very excited to see it as a tourist. Now on the business side, I'm here in Jordan. I've been here for 14 years in tourism, and our landscape is very similar to Saudi, from Wadi Rum, Petra, the Red Sea. We both share a beautiful sea. We do have the Dead Sea that you don't have, but what I'd like to share is the collaboration when we have the long haul travelers coming from the West, to think of a unity between Jordan and Saudi. When a traveler comes that far to see the Middle East, we work stronger, wiser, and more harmonious collaborating. And we are very excited to launch Saudi Arabia. You would only help and enhance the region for tourism. Many Westerners want to know more about our culture, our food, and our hospitality. So we here in Jordan are willing to assist with the launch of Saudi Arabia's tourism. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mona. Go ahead, Raed.
Thank you, Mona, for the nice talk about Saudi tourism. If you don't mind, Mr. Yergin, if we can take Mr. Mohammed Al-Majid, the chairman of the Saudi Tourism Committee at the Riyadh Chamber of Commerce. Are you there, sir?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think, the gentleman, you need to unmute yourself, please.
Mr. Mohammed Al-Majid, are you there? You need to open the mic, unmute it. كم حضر؟ ناس كثير صوروا لي.
هو هذا زون؟
Mr. Mohammed Al-Majid. Okay, I think we cannot hear him. Is Dr. Mohammed Al-Naser there?
معك أستاذ.
Okay, please introduce yourself and introduce your experience for investing in a historical site in the eastern province of Saudi Arabia as destination development and investment company.
إن شاء الله. أول شيء بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، السلام عليكم. معكم محمد نزال من شركة تطوير للاستشارات المختصة بالسياحة الثقافية. أول شيء شكرا للأستاذ رائد ولمجموعة مصير على الدعوة من هاي النخبة من الأساتذة الكرام. الحقيقة كنت محضر مقدمة لكن الدكتور طالب خرب كل مقدمتي يعني حكاها كلها وزيادة عنه شوية بعد. أنا أكلمكم من الحسا بالمنطقة الشرقية. الحسا دخلت من ضمن مدن التراث العالمي من 2018 دخلت قبل شهرين تقريبا في موسوعة جينيس كأكبر واحد نخيل في العالم بمساحة 86 كيلومتر. بالنسبة لنا أستاذ ممكن أشارك أعمل شير للعرض تاعي.
Jürgen, the gentleman needs to share some of his data.
Okay,
Can you help
you
him?
can share the screen. It's fine. Go ahead.
Okay.
If you kindly click on the share screen button below your.
Okay, I will do
but
it.
Maybe I'm hoping maybe Mr. Raed could translate a little bit. So.
Yes, that's it.
I can help with that. Jürgen. I think Mr. Naser is trying to speak a little bit about Al Hassa. Yes, please.
Go ahead, Your Excellency, Dr. Tariq.
Please.
Translate, please.
Yes. Well, he was speaking about his experience in cultural tourism. And he was concentrating now on Mantiqat Al Hassa, which he wants to show us a little bit of now.
Yeah, there should be a green button underneath your screen next to participant chat, and then it says share screen. If you click on it, you see there it is. Okay.
It's okay now?
Yes. Okay. It says the company for advisory development.
احنا دكتور ايوه شركه تطوير الاستشارات سمينا نفسنا يعني بلا كلتشر ميكر يعني صناع ثقافه.
Yes, initiators of culture.
طبعا احنا اشتغلنا دكتور على هي جينيس، دخلنا جينيس قبل شهرين. احنا بنتكلم منطقه الحساء.
منطقه الحساء they were part of the Guinness. Yes.
تاريخها قديم جدا واكبر منطقه مأهوله من زمن طويل. كانت المنطقه تمتد من البصره لغايه عمان وكانت اسمها دلمون كما في الخارطه لبطليموس دكتور.
Yes, this area was called Delman. It pre-Islam, of course. It's very, very ancient. It starts from the south of Basra all the way to the UAE borders now, including Bahrain. Bahrain is a center for the Delman and Qatar as well.
الدكتور بالنسبه للمنطقه بعد دلمون في مدينه مفقوده كانت مشهوره بانها مدينه من اغنى مدن العالم اللي اسمها الجره كما بالخارطه تبعت سترابو من سنه 50 ميلاديه تقريبا.
In the year 55 AD, there was a city called Jerma, which is now lost city. And it was the center of the Delman civilization.
بعدين دكتور إذا بلاحظوا كلمة البحرين صار اسمها البحرين المنطقة كلها.
Yes, the word Bahrain has become now a country, an island, but it used to be an entire region, as you can see. The Bahrain was a region that extended all the way on the southern part of the Arabian Peninsula, the Arabian Gulf.
تمام.
You can read it there.
اوكي دكتور، اشتغلنا على جبل اسمه الدكتور جبل القاره، تقريبا مساحه القاعده تبعته 14 كيلو متر. كان المالك فيه شركه احساء للسياحه، واحنا لشركه تطوير اللي نفذته وغيرت اسمه من جبل القاره لارض الحضارات، قد ما اكتشفنا انه فيها تاريخ، مع انه طيب كلمت.
Okay. They are working on a mountain base that's so big. It was called the mountain of
القارة.
But now they're calling it the mountain, the land of civilization. And it's a big mountain. Please.
دكتور الجبل بمتاز بالكهوف تبعته. الكهوف ميزتها دكتور
it has lots of cave.
الكهف دكتور الكهف عبارة عن درجة حرارة معتدلة بسبب الصخور الرسوبية، يعني تكون برا الكهف درجة حرارة 50، داخل الكهف من 20 ل 25 حد أقصى. صيف شتاء معتدل الحراره.
The mountain is famous for many caves. These caves have very good climate adjustments. It would be very hot outside, yet inside it would be a very reasonable degree of temperature. So it's a cool and very, very convenient caves.
Okay. دكتور كان همنا الجبل معلم طبيعي، فاحنا حولناه من معلم طبيعي لمعلم تاريخي، بحيث ان استخدمنا كل التاريخ اللي بالمنطقه واحضرناه بالجبل وعملنا له متحف خاص بالجبل.
This mountain used to be a natural wonder. Now we've turned it into a historical wonder because we have a story to tell there about civilization. And now we have a museum that speaks about the story and this history of the mountain and the place.
دكتور وحاولنا نربط وربطنا الإرث المحلي بالإرث الحضاري العالمي. ربطناه إرثنا بقلقامش، ربطناه بالإسكندر الأكبر، ربطناه بأنطوخيوس الثالث.
We connected our local heritage to the international heritage. Like the examples he mentioned, Gilgamesh, Alexander, and all of these people that had something to do with the Dolmen civilization.
دكتور اشتغلنا احنا على المنطقه هاي اللي مؤشر عليها مساحتها 125,000 متر بس.
You can see the mountain there amongst all other residential areas. 125 125
25,000 متر اشتغلنا عليه. يعني بس النقطه الحمراء، باقي الجبل كله ما اشتغلنا عليه لسه.
Yeah, we're only working on the red dot, which is 125,000 meters only. The rest of the mountain is not being worked on. So you can see how many treasures are in Saudi Arabia to be discovered yet.
دكتور وكان من ضمن يعني شغلنا كان مرتبط إنما بالإرث الحضاري العالمي ما نلمس الجبل، ما نقرب عليه، فترشحنا للمرحلة الثانية لجائزة آيكروم الشارقة لحفظ التراث الثقافي في المنطقة العربية طبعا، وفوزنا تقريبا المركز الثالث فيها.
We were keen not to touch the main body of the mountain, to preserve it as is. And that's how we got the certificate of ICROM. You know, ICROM is part of UNESCO. And we got the second, the prize for the second stage of ICROM's Sharjah Award.
طبعا اللي كان فائز هاي المسابقة.
This was the yeah.
هاي المسابقة وهاي الدكتور عبد اللطيف هو اللي كان الحقيقة هو صاحب الفكرة المشروع.
Yes, Mr. Abdul Latif to the right is the creator of this idea. And of course, Mr. Naser is on the left. Yes, please.
دكتور هاي تصميمنا للمشروع كان بحيث انه يتناغم مع الجبل ما يكون شاف.
This was the design of architecture design of the project, that it would echo the mountains and not clash with it as if it's a natural part. It's a very sensitive architecture design for the museum particularly. This is how it is. It's only that red dot that you saw. The rest of the mountain is not touched yet.
ودكتور طبعا احنا التاريخ اللي بكلمك عنه يعني اختصرناه، يعني كتاب الفناه كتاب بالاخير. المشروع نفسه البروجكت عملناه كتاب للدكتور عبد اللطيف تقريبا بصدر ان شاء الله، يعني 750 صفحه.
There's a 750 pages book. Yes. There's a book that is 750 pages that was issued on this. It was opened by Prince Salman, who you can see there.
الدكتور استخدمنا الزخارف جبسية طورناها للحقب التاريخي القديمة. الخط اللي بتشوف على العمود دكتور اسمه خط المسند الأحسائي نسبة لمدينة الأحساء نفسها.
Okay. We use some of the gypsum remains. The language you see on that, the alphabets that you see on that column there, are a special language there. It's called إيش سيدي؟ إيش اسمه اللغة؟
الخط المسند الأحسائي. المسند الأحسائي.
It's called the supported إحساء language. It's one of the ancient languages of the world.
هي بعض الصور دكتور من الجبل بحيث ان نعمل بحيث ان دكتور يعني احنا مستثمرين بشكل عام فعملنا مساحات ايجاريه حفلات.
We are investors, of course. We developed this area now. We're using it for lots of personal events and parties and special events that any family can have or any group of people can have.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad.
بس الدكتور اخر هي قلقامش بس ثواني هي قلقامش دكتور عملنا متحف فيه بس اخر ثواني رايي كان مهم الموضوع عندنا دكتور انه يعني هي رساله المشروع كانت عندنا خلق الله الانسان عنصرا حرا كريما اذا بتقراها موجوده بالانجليزي دكتور عندنا.
Yes. God has created man as a free person. For he is who we have sent to lead the way to happiness and harmony in this world, and so on. You can read that on the left side in English. This was a Gilgamesh image, so you could see that the history of the place is rich of so many other things, because when people think of Saudi Arabia, they only think of it as desert. They don't think of it as culture that extends thousands of years.
هاي الكتاب دكتور بالاخير هاي مناظر من
That's the book that's going to come out. These are some of the areas that have been developed now. You can see how sensitive the dealing with the mountain is. And you could have parties, you could have whatever you want there.
دكتور كان مشروع ثاني افتتحناه اسمه مشقر قصر المشقر افتتحوه من شهر تقريبا.
This is a month
المشقر دكتور المشقر عباره عن سوق قبل الاسلام الاحسان مشهوره بالتمر دكتور فبناء عليه كان سوق سنوي عندنا بالمنطقه الاحسان.
It's also in the Ahsa area. It's a market of long time before Islam. It used to be a market for dates, mainly for to transfer and the selling and buying of dates.
دكتور آخر شيء يعني زارونا كثير الحقيقة زوار فهي آراء بعض الزوار اللي زارونا.
This is some of the people that visited it, what they think about it. Okay. We hear the music, but we can't see the picture.
I think this doesn't work. I don't see anything.
Us.
Okay.
You could send it. You could send it later. ممكن ترسلها.
Okay.
We distribute it to everybody. Okay. Thank you.
بس شكرا لكم.
شكرا أستاذ محمد.
And sir,
thank you very much.
I'm sorry.
Thank you very much, Dr. Muhammad. Thank you, Your Excellency, Dr. for your assistance. And hopefully we will send you the video, the content. You can email to Habbis at WTN.travel and we will send you all the information you require. Now I would like to introduce Mr. Sharif Omar. He's a professional citizen in the hotel and hospitality industry. He worked in many groups such as Shangri-La, Kempinski, IHG, and today he will share the opportunities for building more hotels, lodging, accommodation, resort in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Please go ahead, Mr. Sharif.
صباح الخير وتحياتي لكم جميعا
Good morning and welcome to everybody.
أهلا وسهلا بيك دكتور. سيد رائد شكرا للاستضافة
Thank you for hosting me.
طبعا السعودية السعودية كدولة عزيزة علينا نشوف تطور
Saudi Arabia is a country that we care a lot about in Egypt.
قطاع السياحة
سوف أشارك معكم tourism.
presentation بسيطة سريعا بخصوص المشاريع والاستثمارات اللي هتحدث أو بدأت تحدث تحت رؤية 2030
that is happening under the 2030 vision.
التنوع اللي هيكون موجود في السعودية
and the diversity
المجال
of this in Saudi Arabia.
يعني بدون تأخيرها طبعا أنا هعمل شيرينج خليني share screen.
Okay. Hang on, I have to renew the.
Yes, you need to.
Okay, possible, it should be okay now.
Okay, allow me. Okay, bismillah.
I think it's in English.
Yes, أنا حطيتها باللغة الإنجليزية. Yeah. تفضل سيد رائد.
Speak in English.
Okay.
Speak in English.
Yes. Okay. Very good. So thank you very much for having me today and for such interesting subject and discussion related to opportunities in tourism and hospitality in sectors in Saudi Arabia. It's a very dear subject to my heart. I lived in Saudi Arabia for a couple of years. I'm based now in UAE and today I'm in Egypt. I've been in travel and tourism industry, and I've seen the growth of opportunities and the projects in Saudi Arabia since 15-20 years now. But in the last couple of years, we have seen an acceleration of focus on tourism and hospitality project. And it's, as I'm sharing here today, it's public information. We are talking about more than 15 to 16 projects are listed here. So started since 2016, 2017. And we are talking about more than $100 billion of investment. Of course, what is very known or well-known project like Al Qudiyya, Neom, Amala as well, and the Red Sea, but as well Al Ola, which has started to be a very fulfilled project. But there is more projects coming on the way, and it's diversifying in the whole areas of the kingdom. And we're not talking only about the seaside of the Red Sea, but we are talking about all over the kingdom, which is very rich with culture and tourism and hospitality. Myself, as a person who have lived in Saudi Arabia for a couple of years, I already indulge this hospitality, and it's welcoming basically all the people to today to invest, to come to enjoy, and a new heritage and the new ways of tourism. I'm gonna. Here you can see some pictures of more of the project, Neom, which is very well known, but as well you got the Red Sea project, which is almost like a Maldives, Al Qudiyya, and more project related to King Salman. As an example, King Salman Park, which will be in Riyadh. It's almost 149,000 kilometers, and it's almost $23 billion of investment. We're talking about Amala. It's more than $200 billion. Neom, it's already started, and it's more than $500 billion. So you're talking about a huge project, and including an infrastructure, urban design, cities, parks, hospitality, even new heritage that indulging basically the culture of Saudi Arabia. And allow me here to share with you quick videos related to Saudi Arabia. Hopefully the sound, and this is the winter in Saudi Arabia. I'm not talking about Switzerland. I'm not talking about any other country. I'm talking about Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
So it's not only summer, it's not only spring, it's not only, it's all the season, including winter, which is an enjoyable in a country which is opening up to opportunities and tourism.
Mr. Sharif, this is where exactly?
This is in
southeast, southwest,
yeah, southeast,
southwest,
yes,
southwest.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
So that was a quick video. Sorry, yeah, it's finished. And I'm just gonna move to the second slide. And knowing that I've took this video again, it's indication basically, and it enhance basically what's happening. Without airline and without a proper infrastructure, there's nothing that could happen. We've seen a lot of investment happening in Saudi Arabia, in Saudi airline, in private airline, in low fare carrier here. So it's diversifying. It's a welcoming all client. And I'm just gonna here share another video from Highness. Again, I'm not promoting any airline, but it's all about like the message which is passed related to the country and what is really happening in Saudi Arabia.
No sound. Nadine. Shh.
So again, thank you very much for listening. I try to pass the message just to make sure that it's clear, it's loud. Again, just my contact details. I'm of course part of the Shangri-La group nowadays. However, if there is any question related to tourism, travel in Saudi Arabia, I'm happy to answer you, and I'm looking forward to welcome you all in Saudi Arabia.
Sharif, you're based in Egypt now?
I'm just on a holiday for a couple of days. Finally, I managed to travel. I'm based in UAE, actually.
Okay, good. Thank you so much. It was a very good presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Todd.
Yeah. Well, that's what was amazing. I didn't know you had snow in Saudi Arabia. It's something
it's amazing. There is a diversifying environment in Saudi Arabia, culture, people, history, and I think it's all coming into light. So it's not only about pilgrims. It's not about only desert. It's about this diversification that is existing in a country that is very less known. However, there is an opportunity for people to invest, to enjoy, and to see this country.
Wonderful. And Mr. Raed, are you showing? I think you're showing a picture here in the background, right?
Yeah, that's a video of
okay.
Saudi Arabia.
Baseera Group. Baseera.
Yeah, Baseera Group. Yeah.
Baseera Group.
Okay. Perfect. Now, I wanted to, I don't know, Raed, if you had anything else immediately? And if not, I wanted to just maybe we're
with you, Mr. Mayor.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I'm with you. But can we watch this video and then we can take question and answer, please?
Okay, okay, go ahead.
No. Thank you. The video.
I think you need to share first the video because it is a screen, the back screen of the laptop. It's showing.
It's shared. It's shared.
We cannot see the video, Raed. Unfortunately, we cannot see the video. You may
I can
want to
see
try
it.
to change the window.
I can see it. I can see it.
You can see it? Okay, all right.
I can see it.
Weird. I cannot see it. I'm not sure if the rest of the audience are able to see it or not. I
can see only the first
it's only the screen of the laptop that is showing.
Yes,
the video
I think
is
it
not
says
showing, but it's playing.
stretch screen or something, or double screen.
Okay.
So it needs to be brought here.
Okay. You're right. Technology is always a problem.
Well, right, maybe if you can send the video to me as an MP4 or YouTube, we can add it to the archive, and we can add actually all the videos to the archive version really easy.
Yes, if you can send it to us, the participants, that would be good, Jürgen.
We'll send it, Dr. Talib, okay.
Thank you.
I would like to thank all the speakers, and can we give time for question and answers, please?
Yes, so those of you that wanted to ask a question, simply raise your hand. It's better than put it in the chat because the chat is hard to follow. There's a lot of activities, but there's one question in the chat. It's from Ashraf Gadawari, and I don't know if you're still here, Ashraf. If you are, you can also, yeah, you are, but I don't think you have a mic. Do you have a microphone you can use? Well, I don't say. What she's asking is, how can a tourist?
Yes, I have. I have, Jürgen. I have microphone.
Okay, go ahead, please.
About what? You asked about what? I forget.
No, you had put on the chat forum. You wanted to know how a tourist, can someone fly to the tourist project? Dr. Mohammed explained. Is there an airport for the project for tourists to use?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, we have actually two airports. We have here in Al Hufuf Airport and we have Dammam Airport. It's يعني Al Hufuf Airport 20 kilos. It's in the same city, but the Dammam about 120 kilometers from our project.
Okay, can we have?
Do you have a foreign finance for this project, or almost Saudi?
What do you mean foreign?
Finance.
International
no,
finance.
No. It's دكتور طالب هي الحقيقة إنه شركة إحسان السياحة منظمة غير ربحية كانت. إحنا بس طورنا المشروع لكن هي منظمة غير ربحية.
Oh, thank you.
It's a non-profit organization. It's a non-profit company.
Yes, okay, I understand.
Yes.
Okay. Is Captain Saad Al-Shahri with us, please? Captain Saad. If you are there,
Captain Saad, your microphone is not unmuted. Go ahead.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum assalam, ahlan.
أنا معاكم.
We can hear you. We can hear
happy
you.
to be with you. I am enjoying the presentations, lots of information, and for now I have nothing to add.
Can you please, Captain Saad, since you are the ex-vice president of Saudi Airlines, just if you can give us a quick highlight of Saudi fleet and network global stations?
Well, this is very challenging question. You know, I've been retired for several years, and Saudi is moving too fast. You know, there is lots of update in the fleet and the network and things that I would have to make little preparation before I give any presentation about that or any information. But most of this information you're asking for is available in any Saudi site.
Yeah. Of course, as you said, maybe our information is a little bit not updated. However, Saudi last week received Apex award as a 5-star airline. Saudi operates to over 75 destinations globally as a national carrier. It operates to almost 5 international airports in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, starting with King Abdulaziz Airport. It carries over 1 million pilgrims for Hajj and about 3 to 5 million for Umrah, plus business travelers and tourists. Saudi have the latest fleet, liners, and it have a website where you can see much of its schedule. It offers very good promotional rate, especially through the winter, which we hope that you can book and fly and arrive in a super condition to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia.
Thank you very much for backing me up in this. You know that you're the expert in the business side. I think my expertise in the technical side and mainly safety and security, and I would be more empowered to speak about that too. But you did very well in your briefing about the business side, and you are Saudi management also. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain. Yes, I was in distribution and marketing and travel agency, tour operation, no doubt. Also, I was representing IATA locally in the Kingdom. We created many industry agency programs, such as we introduced the global GDSs plus the bank settlement plan, BSP. Captain Saad, any tourist, the first choice he looks for safety and security. Since this is your domain, can you give us some highlight how safe and secure Saudi Airlines and Saudi Arabia?
Well, yes, I can tell you that usually safety is not something to advertise, as not something, especially aviation safety, because everybody in aviation, regardless of where he is, main objective and main purpose is to be safe and to achieve the highest level of safety possible. However, safety is not a competition issue, because we all share the main goal, and we all share the main goal of being safe. You know, the safety of an airline is affecting the safety of the rest. However, Saudi Arabia has been very concerned and very generous and very forthcoming with sharing information and with gaining from other people's experience and implementing all that the gain of the security in the safety of the airline. So everybody in Saudi, this is what I believe through my service. every one of us, you know, in the technical side, we leave home every day to work for one single reason, is to try to make Saudi safer. And thanks God, I think we have achieved, you know, great level of safety. And in that endeavor, we've been very active in all international committees and safety forums. We've been part of the safety of international safety, whether in IATA or the Flight Safety Foundation or in ICAO meetings and conference, yeah, or all these things. You know, we've been very permanent member of these committees. And in the last development that IATA, ICAO, you know, moved to it, because at certain point the safety reached a limit that needed to take into further ground, like having an audit, you know, even if you are safe, even if you don't have an accident, even if you don't show any problems. But the mean of creating the highest level of safety is by auditing yourself, auditing your procedure, auditing your performance, whether in the aircraft or in the technical side, or even in loading, offloading, in security procedures and all that. And we have participated with IATA during my time. I've been the chairman of the Safety Advisory Committee of IATA for 2 years and been an advisor for the committee for 6 years. And I've been member for over 25 years in that committee. So during my time, we actually started the international safety audit that is now very well known and very famous project worldwide. This audit, it become a requirement to join IATA. No airline can join IATA or stay in IATA membership if that airline does not achieve the success in the IOSA audit. This IOTA is every second year, and it has created a very new level of safety that was not before, that was not achieved before. The main thing is sharing the information, seeing how is everybody around you and is meeting the same standard, because safety is contagious. Actually, safety is, you cannot be safe when your neighbor is not safe. We're sharing the same airspace, we're sharing the same airports, we're sharing the same taxiway and parking and all that. So everybody.
Sir, we're talking about technical safety here, or we're talking about other kinds of safeties?
Basically, the technical safety is the basis of aviation, of the aviation business. Of course, yes. There is environmental safety. There is that will physical have to do with the storage. There is but it all come under that umbrella, you know. The main thing, yes. The main activity of aviation is an airplane, passengers, and airport. Yes. This is the cream of the business, and it all started and concentrated about being technically safe and operationally safe. So, and of course that extends into every other aspect of safety in the system. So I think this being my experience with Saudi, and I know Saudi is still in the leading front in the safety issue. They are very generous in spending money and in developing personnel and developing systems, and I think they are at a very comfortable level of safety that I feel proud of.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Captain Saad. We are, it is such an interesting session. We're almost 1 hour over our time, and we almost have everyone who joined us at the beginning still here. So thank you so much for that. And I wanted to just recognize the three people here in the audience. One is Stephen Brown, and the reason I mentioned Stephen Brown, he's joining us from New York. It is now, if I'm not mistaken, about almost 4:30 in the morning in New York, and Stephen has been on every single event. I don't know Stephen personally, but I wanted to just recognize this. He's been on every single event we had since we started this lounge, and thank you for your loyalty. Hopefully you get some sleep after this. I also wanted to recognize.
Thank you. Definitely will.
And I wanted to recognize. I think there's an echo.
Jorgen, please.
Well,
Hello.
before I leave, I want to thank you all, and I have to admit that I was not expecting to speak at all in this meeting. I was only joining because I am impressed with what's been said, and I like to benefit from such meetings. So thank you for giving me the chance to speak.
Thank you, Captain.
You're welcome.
Can I ask it, Mr. Talib?
You're always
Yes.
on Captain's side.
Hello?
Yes, now.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Talib, I need to translate this question, and also I need you answered me طبعا لخبرتك العريضة. هل تعتقد ان الشعب السعودي زي ما قلت لحضرتك يعني 20 سنة اكثر من 20 سنة علشان يمنحوا الفيزا السياحية، هل تعتقد اليوم ان خلال من دلوقتي ل 2030 ان الشعب السعودي هيتقبل فكرة السياحة الحرة والبرامج السياحية العادية؟ هل تعتقد ذلك؟ وايضا انا عايز بسأل نفس السؤال للاستاذ رائد.
طيب اذا تسمح دكتور طالب انا اجاوب على السؤال هذا.
Please, but we need to translate the question first.
Okay. You want to translate it?
Yes, the gentleman was asking if the Saudi people are ready now after 20 years to receive all of these visitors and to embark on tourism as a healthy and open sector. That was his question. Are we ready for that or not? Mr. Raed, please.
Yes, sir. First of all, I would like to elaborate here that Saudi Arabia, since the founder, King Abdulaziz, Saudi Arabia have hosted many international workers to help in the development of the country since the 1948 with President Roosevelt. We have in the eastern side an area called Bahran, Aramco, and this is a big community. There were over 40,000 at that time. When we look at Jeddah, the western side, Jeddah is a 4,000-year city, and many Western nationals, they lived when the embassies started in the kingdom about 90 years ago. So Saudi people, they are also exposed to international visitors since 4,000 years ago from Umrah and Hajj. But even those visitors, they come to Jeddah and they visit the Western region and they mix with Saudi people. They are very hospitable since 4,000 years ago. Lately, when we started to promote inbound tourism, leisure tourism, the country hosted many global sport events, cultural events, musical events. They sported Formula E in Dar'iyah, Riyadh last year. Dakar Rally, Dakar throughout the kingdom, and the people were very hospitable in the cities, in the villages, in the rural areas. Plus they hosted Italian Super Cup and Spanish La Liga King Cup, Real Madrid, Barcelona, AC Milano, all the global football clubs. They have done some sport activities, including some of the boxing, global heavyweight championship. So the people are very happy, and their presentation that Saudi are very hospitable, very generous people, and I want to thank Dr. Mona when she stated in the beginning that Saudi people are very, very hospitable people, and they love to receive guests. So welcome to Saudi Arabia.
Talib, I see your hand up here.
Yes, yes, please. I want to make some concluding remarks, if you don't mind, Jorgen, because we've been now for 2 hours almost. Yeah. And I would like to take this opportunity to answer the question. Please,
can I add only one comment in what Mr. Abu Rabah, Mr. Raed, yes, said. And I'm talking about my observation as a Saudi citizen in contact with with what's going on. The Vision 2030 has made that it shows not optional, you know, it's the future, you know. And from my observation and from my contact with the general public and with the people, it is something that everybody, especially the young generation of Saudi Arabia, has been looking forward for, and they're very supportive for, and they are very ready to participate and support the objectives of the Vision 2030 fully with unlimited support. So I think as Mr. Raed talk about the history and the future, the past and all that, I tell you the future is even more people looking forward for such programs and such activities, and to welcome everybody who really want to come and see our country.
أنتم تتحدثون عن 134 محافظة و13 مقاطعة. يا جماعة be honest، هل لا مش هم ال 134 محافظة، مش هم الرياض، مش هم جدة، مش هم الزهران، مش هم الإحساء، مش هم عسير. أنا بتكلم عن شعب 28 مليون أو 29 مليون النهاردة نشأ على قواعد عقائدية معينة وفكر معين. هل من خلال بعض الفعاليات اللي تمت وسمعنا عنها ما شفناهاش في جدة أو في الرياض أو هنا أو في العلا، في منطقة العلا، هل ده تستطيعوا من خلاله تحكموا على هذا؟ أنا أعتقد إن يعني لابد إن يرد عليا الدكتور طالب الرفاعي، وخاصة إنه هو متبني قضية التنمية المستدامة والسياحة المستدامة. لأن يعني 15 سنة أو 14 سنة مع احترامي لكافة الآراء ما أعرفش هل يكفوا لتغيير هذا الفكر أم لا؟
أستاذ شريف،
Mr. Raed.
لو تعرفني مين حضرتك لو سمحت.
لو إيه؟
ما عرفنا.
أنا مش سامع.
لو تعرف.
أنا أشرف الجداوي، رئيس تحرير بوابة السياحة العربية المسلة منذ 15 عام، وأعتقد أن الدكتور طالب الرفاعي يقدر يعرفني أحسن من كده.
I know you very well, Mr. Ashraf. I know you very well. Mr. Ashraf was asking, just to be fair, he was asking is 20 years or 15 years enough to change the mentality of the people? That what Mr. Raed is talking about, what we're all talking about, is only contained in big cities like Jeddah, like Riyadh. He was wondering whether this is the general common shared feeling amongst other people outside of Riyadh and outside of the big cities. May I please respond to that? Please. Jürgen, can I go ahead?
Sure, absolutely. Yes, yes.
Okay. I think the problem here is a problem of...
Thank you, Dr.
Hello.
Thank you, Dr. Tariq, for this translation. I would like to answer Mr. Ashraf.
Yes.
To start with, Saudi Arabia population is 30 million, not 124 million. Of course, we have 13 regions, 285 municipalities. However, Saudi Arabia have sent international students to international universities. 10 years ago, we had almost 150,000 Saudis studying in the US. Myself, I studied back in the 1980s in Miami. We have during King Abdullah educational mission. They studied abroad in North America, South America, Asia, Europe, all over the world. So our young people, they come from those regions and those cities and those villages. And don't be surprised, now most of them, they are ministers. The government did a big project to invest in people and to invest in their education, building their capacity. So thanks God, now Saudi Arabia has done all that transformation. And Saudi Arabia, since King Abdulaziz started working with UN organization on building all the sectors. This doesn't come by a chance. Now, when Saudi Arabia presided over the G20, that was with a plan, and it was over 50-year plan. So I hope I answered your question that we do part of our heritage, culture, nature. We are a welcoming hospital people, and we are already mixed. Saudi, they are considered to be with the British promotion board, the best traveler in the world, by the way. And they have traveled all over.
Right.
I myself traveled to over 150 cities and countries around the globe. So Saudi Arabian people, even they live in small towns, but they are very highly educated. Thank you, sir.
May I just say something, please?
Talib wanted to say.
يا ريت نسمع رأي الدكتور طالب.
Okay. Now, this is a problem. It's a problem of perception here, Mr. Ashraf. The Saudi people have not done this overnight. It's an accumulation of so many things that they have prepared themselves to. As referring to the last 20 years, because I remember very well when I was in UNWTO, Prince Sultan bin Salman was heading the Saudi Agency for Culture and Tourism. And his main objective was to raise the awareness of the people, to make them think of tourism in a different way. Now we're reaping that fruits. Now we're building on it for 2030. So the current leadership in Saudi Arabia is quite aware of the level of education and level of awareness of the people. And I want to say that this doesn't happen overnight. I know that the perception of Saudi Arabia outside of Saudi Arabia is one of conservatism, is one of closeness. Even geography is not known. Many people were surprised to see that there is snow in Saudi Arabia, for example. We don't know what we know. What we don't know about Saudi Arabia is more than what we know. But the current leadership in Saudi Arabia is aware of that and wants to open up. And that's what's important. And the people are responding to this, Mr. Ashraf. Believe me, they are. Don't be deceived by this current sporadic events here and there. I know you're referring to some concerts here, some concerts there. These are things that happen in cities everywhere, all over the world. Saudi Arabia is not different. But I'm talking about people, communities in Asir, in the southwest, in the north. These people are beginning to understand the value of tourism when people come to visit them. First, you should start by visiting your own country, by domestic tourism. That's what started. Prince Sultan did a great job trying to raise awareness of the people. Now Prince Mohammed is picking up on that and pushing us to Vision 2030. That's what's important. So it's not something that happened overnight. It took a lot of hard work first to convince the people that tourism is not haram. You know the difference between haram and halal. In some cases, in some cases, you know, tourism was associated with only blonde people with blue eyes.
انت راجل محترم. انت الوحيد الذي ذكر الامير سلمان.
شكرا. No. We have to give credit to where it belongs.
الامير سلمان ما فعله الامير سلمان للسياحه خلال 20 سنه. انت رجل محترم وشديد الاحترام يا دكتور طالب، واحييك وارفع لك القبعه.
شكرا يا سيدي. I think it's the same policy being followed through. هذا اللي بقوله انا.
دكتور طالب، اوجه الدعوه للاستاذ اشرف جداوي من جبهه السياحه العربيه انه يزور المملكه ويعرف ايش التغيير الحاصل، وحيشوف يعني الحمد لله المستوى المتقدم اللي وصلت له صناعه السياحه والمملكه في كل القطاعات.
I think the change really, Mr. Ashraf, is in the feeling of the communities towards tourists, towards visitors. People who are not ready to receive visitors. People are ready now to receive visitors. الكلام ده حصل بعد سنين طويلة, long years of education, raising awareness. يعني tourism is not anymore just, as I said, a drunken
لا أنا متابع
European.
أنا متابع شغل الأمير سلمان. أنا متابع
سلطان.
الأمير سلطان. أنا متابع. راجل عمل شغل فوق الوصف.
And now Prince Mohammed is picking up on that and pushing us to Vision 2030, which is natural. We needed a strong leadership. It's not what you have, it's what you do with what you have that matters, always. And what you have here is a lot. So imagine what you can do with it. Dubai, for example, is a very small city. It didn't have anything. There was a political will and a leadership that pushed it into becoming a prime tourism destination. Imagine what can happen out of Saudi Arabia if there is a political will that drives it. And today there is a political will. That's the difference, Ustaz Ashraf. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Talib. Thank you, Mr. Raed. Thank you, Mr. Jorgen.
Yes, thank you
for this chance.
Thank you.
I think we have plenty of interesting information. We can probably do another session or maybe several sessions. And since we now have a chapter in Saudi Arabia, thanks to her, His Royal Highness and Raed, I think there's a lot to do, and we can interact with the world through our young organization. And we're very, very pleased to have Saudi Arabia on board. And we love these kind of discussions because they are original. They're not fake. They're really discuss issues that are at heart of everyone, and that's really what we want in this organization. We wanted to combine the medium, small-sized businesses, new destinations, and Saudi Arabia, even though it's a very old destination, it's a new destination in many people's eyes, in my eyes, for example. And I would welcome these discussions to continue. Unfortunately, we are now 2 hours and 16 minutes into this, what is very long, but it was very interesting. So I would definitely suggest maybe we can continue this, have a new subject, and we can do this soon on this platform anytime. We're building this organization. It's new. I wanted to just quickly recognize Mr. H.M. Hakim. He's from Bangladesh. He runs our new chapter in Bangladesh. And then we have Mr. Rudolf Herman. He runs our chapter in Malaysia. I would give both the floor for a minute, but I think we're really too far into this, and we're going to do another session on Bangladesh like what we did, and we have to do one on Malaysia. Rudolf has been extremely active.
Malaysia is very important.
And has been extremely active. There's a LinkedIn group. Anyone can join. He has done this globally. So we have a lot of dedicated people in this organization already. And I wanted to thank everyone. And if there's anyone who hasn't joined us, please do. You can join our local chapter in Saudi Arabia, or you can join us anywhere in the world. And specifically, I wanted to thank His Royal Highness Dr. Abdulaziz Bin Naser Al Saud, and I'm so sorry if I pronounced this wrong. I have to take an Arab lesson one of these days. But you're really an inspiration. I've known you indirectly now for some time in talking to Mr. Raed for the last year, and it's really an honor to have you on board. And I wanted to thank, of course, Taleb and everyone else who was here. And I wanted to give the last word to my friend, Mr. Raed, who organized all of this. And thank you for this. From my end, I wanted to say aloha. That's what we say here in Hawaii. I wanted to give assalamu alaikum to Mr. Raed, and you have the last word. Go ahead.
Can I just interrupt for a second?
Sure.
Sorry, just to thank you all for your time and for such an interesting discussion and debate and understanding better what's happening in the world and in Saudi Arabia. Reflecting on the discussion that was shared, and I'm conscious about the timing. Actually, a person who have traveled the world and stayed and lived in Saudi Arabia, and I'm living now. I consider myself as a citizen of the world. I witnessed the change. I can see the change and that's happening. And reflecting on Mr. Taleb reply related to the political will and the leadership, and I think that is essential. And secondly, the Saudi people are very hospitable, very welcoming people. I've witnessed this, I've seen this, and I'm still indulging and enjoying this. And I think, yes, there is culture changes that's happening in a positive way, I would say. Yes, there is pillars and things that will remain and stay. There is nothing wrong about this. But as well, it's part of the culture and how we can balance between the two things, having our history and our culture, and on the same time balance with being modern and being welcoming to the people, and it does not contradict to each other. And third thing, as you mentioned, Jürgen, related to chapters, I think thank you to have the people from Malaysia and the chapter from other countries, and I'm hoping that we will open soon a chapter in UAE and in Egypt under his patronage of His Excellence Dr. Saud and Mr. Raed, and I think that could be a more discussion with my brother Raed and Dr. Taleb. Again, I would like to thank you all for your time and for such interesting discussion. And I'm hoping to welcoming you all in Saudi Arabia with our hotel Shangri-La in Saudi Arabia, which is again another support and investment basically in a country that's growing tremendously in such sector. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sharif.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and please, we would very much like a chapter in Egypt and in the UAE, two very important markets in your region. We're really talking to.
You will see that there is more in-depth discussion with Mr. Raed, and I think I will let him basically to mention this, but it's a good opportunity as well to discuss.
Yes, very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Raed, can you turn your microphone? I think it's off. I don't know if you can hear us.
Just press the
المايك ميوت عند حضرتك سيد رائد.
It's on the screen. على الشاشة أستاذ رائد. اكبس بس على الشاشة.
سيد رائد الصوت مش واصل. لو حد بس يضغط على الصوت بتاع الانميوت.
There he is.
Seems like.
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please go
Thank
ahead.
you, Mr. With regard to setting up the chapter in Emirates and Egypt, We will have a separate discussion with Mr. Yemen and Dr. Talib later. Any more question or any more information needed? Because I think really we took too long from the time plan.
Yeah, and right, if there are questions, we have on WTN.travel, we have a contact form. You can easily signal the chapter, what it is, and then you get a copy, and we can respond to it at that time.
Good, good. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jürgen.
Well, if there's nothing else, again, thank you very much. I wanted to remind we have our next session coming up tomorrow morning, or actually it would be at tonight, your time. It's My Beautiful Africa, Smart Tourism with Clara Okoro in Nigeria. Feel free to join us. And during the week, we have a number of really, really interesting sessions, including one from Mona, who asked a question a little bit earlier about the safest place in the earth, on earth for tourism in Jordan. So you don't want to miss any of this. You will also should listen to our friend Deepak Joshi from Nepal. He has a session next week, Professor Jeffrey Lipman, and Vijay in regards to aviation. He was a former VP for Etihad Airways. Again, thank you so much for your time, and Your Royal Highness, thank you so much for your vision and for hosting our chapter in Saudi Arabia. And I hope all of you have a good day, good night, good morning, wherever you are. And from my end, aloha from here. Good night.
Thank you very much. See you.
Bye-bye.
Salam.